All right, welcome back. David Kirkman and Bree Fowler are joining us to talk about online safety on this National Password Day. Bree, this person is asking, is it safe to keep a notebook of usernames and passwords?
Well, the answer to that is yes and no. It's okay to have a notebook or have things written down, provided you put them in a safe place, a drawer, a safe, somewhere where people aren't going to get at it. Putting it on a sticky note on your monitor, especially if you go back to the office, is definitely a bad idea.
Yes, I can understand. Okay. All right, David, this person's asking, how often should you change your password?
I would change the password at least every 6 months just to be safe. Some people say more, some people say less, but that's my practice.
At least 6 months. All right, Bree, this person's saying, what can I do if someone got into my account and changed my password?
Well, hopefully you have multi-factor authentication set up to prevent that. That's one of the best things you can do is when someone logs in from another device, they're asked to enter another form of identification. This could be a code texted to your phone or, through an app like Google Authenticator or a physical security key. This will keep that from happening if your password is compromised. Now, if the worst does happen, you're going to have to contact whatever company, social media that's been compromised and deal directly with them.
Yeah, and that is not an easy task, is it?
No.
It is not, which is why we want you to have a really good, strong password to keep that from happening. Speaking of like some of the horror stories here, Dave, you've worked with lots of people in the fraud department there at AARP. What are some of the worst cases that you've seen?
Well, the worst cases of password theft usually resulted from the tech support scam, where people were called out of the blue or received an email from somebody pretending to be from Microsoft or whatever computer system they used, and they would lure these people into clicking on certain links that gave the scammer access to their entire computer, and the scammers would be able to install spyware into the computers. And so very quickly, these elderly victims, mainly, all their accounts would start to be drained or have charges made to them by these scammers within 20 or 30 minutes. And we had some people who lost probably $20,000 within a matter of hours.
Within a matter of hours, to think that it can happen that quickly is just super scary. Bree, this person is asking, why can't I have the same password for all of my accounts?
Well, the thing is, then you're putting all your eggs into one basket. It's a very, very bad idea. Your bank may be locked down with state-of-the-art encryption and all the security bells and whistles and multi-factor authentication. But if you're using the exact same credentials to log into, your favorite cooking website, those protections might not be there. And cyber criminals know that they can run passwords and credentials and logins against a whole bunch of accounts in hopes of, hitting what they want. This is all automated and, they don't have to do this by hand. So you should definitely have a long, unique, and complicated password for every single one of your online accounts.
All right, this person is asking, can you trust the auto-generated strong passwords that are created on your iPhone, like when you click on certain things? Dave?
Usually, if it's a reputable company, it'll create a very secure password for you. A lot of these programs, though, you have to be very careful to remember your password to get into that program. Otherwise, you're going to have some problems with it.
Right. Sometimes your Chrome browser will remember it for you. Sometimes it won't.
Yeah.
Right, and that's a problem. Okay. How about fingerprint or Face ID passwords, Bree? Are they safer than the actual password on my phone or something else?
They're a great form of authentication, especially if you're setting up a second factor. I mean, really the best thing you can do is layer your protections. You should have a great password. You should have biometrics. You should use a physical security key or some kind of authentication app, especially for the accounts that matter most. The more layers you have in place, the more likely that an attacker will move on to someone else.
All right, and for those people who are out there saying, I'm just not going to change my password, it's just too much to deal with, you say what, Dave?
Well, if you're just not going to change your password, I would definitely say you should probably make sure all of these accounts have two-factor authentication, and also use those challenge questions to make them as complicated as you can make them.
Okay, but bottom line, change those passwords. Make them better than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you both for joining us. If you missed any of this, you can find it on our website under the Who Wants to Know section.